Yeah, and we are streaming. So today I'm looking into block locking in block themes. It would appear that block locking is something that is possibly available to block themes. What I'm mostly seeing is that it's relative to blocks, and the only thing seems to really be relevant to block themes are these settings. So today I'm going to try and understand block locking from a theme developer's point of view. And then see what it does. So I guess I'll start with a theme and then locks and blocks in the theme, I guess. Probably makes sense. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is the block theme course theme, block course theme. It's the theme we're using to develop the block theme course. And it's very simple. It doesn't do much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my templates and I'm going to clear out my blank template because I was fiddling with this the other day. And let's add some columns. Let's add an image. And then let's center a line on the image. And then let us columns, 500 pixels wide? No, because the image is too big. Let's make it a group. Yeah, group makes more sense. That column. Okay. Make that 50%. Make that 50% just for the sake of fun. And then shrink the images. The 300, 200, and 300, 200, just for the sake of something. And then let's add a heading. And I want to move the heading inside the group. Just above the columns there, that's nice. And let's go some pictures. And let's Do some stuff to that. Let's make it max that. That's fine. Inside a paragraph. Let's get some text. There. I'll just put some text in there. Okay, so I've got a heading, I've got some images, I've got some columns inside group. It handles the images, and I could add some more images. Let's do 4 images. Just for the sake of the fact that we have 4 images. So let's select all 4. So let's make this one that guy, I think it is. Oh no. Okay, so it's those waterfalls, and then I need 2 waterfalls. So let's do the abstract and abstract. There we go. And let's make them all reset one of these. And then let's make them all 800 pixels wide. Interesting. Yeah, I think all the images are slightly different, which is why it's laying out like that, but it's fine. It looks pretty decent. Okay, so I've got a heading, I've got some text, and now I want to lock, let's say, the columns. So first things first, let's save this. And then I want to export this to a theme. So let's call this let's close it. And let's call it locked block. Don't mind the rest. And we'll just export it into I like hyphens in my theme names. I'm weird like that. Okay, so let's export that. So if I switch back to my code editor, there it is. And if I go to Finder off screen and I import it, shows up there. And let's go to my blank template. Let's have a look at the code that it created. Okay, so there's the code, so there's the group, various other things, columns, cool images. Okay. Okay, so it's got all of that. So now I'm going to activate that theme because I want to make changes to it and then overwrite the changes. So block course theme, will activate that. And now go back into the editor. Okay, let's go to the template. Right, so now I want to lock the columns. So just click on the columns here. So select column, select columns, and then block. Choose specific attributes to restrict or lock all available options. Lock all, disable movement, prevent removal. Okay. So that's pretty obvious. That one disables you to move it around. That one disables you being able to remove it. Okay, so let's apply those and then save. And I'm just going to go back to create block theme. And I'm going to overwrite. Save huge changes as theme changes. That's what I want, because I want to see the changes. Okay. So let's see. So there's the lock. WP columns lock. There it is. So I can lock that way. So I'm locking columns, I'm locking move, and I'm locking remove. And that seems to be it. It's just those two settings. Okay. I'm guessing I need to refresh. Oh no, it is already locked. Okay, so it's showing as locked there. So if I try and remove it now, can remove it. Okay. I wonder if that's... Okay, so let's do that. And then let's export it. I'll override it to that. And then what I've got is I've got another WordPress instance that I'm going to open up. I'm going to install my locked theme, and I'm going to see what that does. At WordPress will be here. Actually, I'll do that. Okay, so let's add that theme. We activate. We go into the editor. We go and find that template. It gives us an error. That's interesting. Oh, that's probably because those images aren't there. Something else. Right, but it broke. I was happy to be able to see what that did. I wonder if that's because I'm not got... Oh wait, hang on. You know what it probably is? It's probably because I don't have Gutenberg installed on the other side. So let me do that. Let's update. I think what I need to do is make changes without Gutenberg installed. Yes, that's a good idea. So let's deactivate that. Then let's go back and delete the locked block course theme. That's active, I can't delete it. Okay, let's activate that. And let's delete that. And then I'm just going to... Hi, Leo. I'm just fumbling my way through here, buddy. What was I going to do now? Oh yes, I'm going to reset my database. It's back before I started. Means I have to recreate the page, but that's fine. Does mean, however, that at least I'm running on same versions of WordPress. Just did that. Okay, so while that's updating, let's go back into here. And let's go back to the blank index. And let's do something slightly different. Remove group. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add the group. I'm not going to do, just going to do group. And I'm going to do columns. I'm going to do 2 column. And then I'm just going to add some text for now. And then I'm going to select the group and I'm going to apply some padding to it, just so that it does that. And then I'm going to add a heading. Just move it on top. Some content into columns. I'm going to align this in the center. Okay, so now I've got heading, 2 columns, and I can lock the columns, for example. Okay. So let's go back and lock the columns. Lock it all. Save it. And then just make sure that Gutenberg is uninstalled. Gutenberg is deactivated, so that's good. I haven't noticed that either, so that's fine. So it's just create block theme. Okay, good. Create block theme. Then let's export this. Oh wait, I want to clone it. Okay, override that. Right, then I want to go back into the second site. And I want to delete this one. Check my updates here. No updates, good. Just make sure this one is running the same. 602. Okay. Add the theme. There it is. Okay, so now in this site, I should be able to see that locked. I wonder if that's interesting. Okay, here we go. Right. So if I look at the code, I'm going to have to open that site. So let's go open block press. I'm going to just attach it to this window so I can see both sites. So there's block press, there's the content, there's the themes, there's the block course theme, here are the templates, there's the blank template. That's interesting. So it has the layout. I wonder if that's stored somewhere. Oh wait, wrong one. Here, templates, blank. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the lock is in place. So that means somebody could remove it here if they know what they're doing, but if they don't, can they remove it here? Probably because I'm an admin. That would be my guess. As I was reading about can lock blocks. So I would assume that I'll probably be able to remove this now. Maybe not. No, I can. It's probably because I'm an admin. So let's see if I can change that. Can lock block settings. So let's grab this and we will pop this in our theme. So in my locked block course theme, I'm going to create a functions.php. Okay, just going to take this out. I don't understand a callback just because I'm weird that way. Call it. Unlock blocks. Details posts. Unlock blocks is false. Now this seems to be access this option. Okay, so can lock blocks is related to do. Okay. So if I just set it to true here, if I set it to false, then it should just be disabled. Don't want anybody to unlock things. Okay, so that's that. The other thing I want to do, don't have this. That. Fine. Let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, so I've selected the columns now, and I don't see the locking option. So that's good. I don't see the remove option. So that's exactly what I want. I don't want to be able to remove... I can remove the paragraph, but I can't remove the columns. Oh, interesting. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go and stick this in our original theme. Let's say this is our development theme, if you will. So this is where we're developing, and then we're going to be installing it on WordPress. So let's just extract it here quickly. Going to need to do that over here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so there it is there. So let's go back to our development site. Let's go back to the editor. So I want to lock all the way down. That's interesting. So I have to lock all the way down. Okay. So all I'm doing is locking that block. The block is locked, removed. Children can still be removed. You want to apply locking on children, add template to inner or template to supporting blocks. Okay, that's fine. So in our development site, I want to lock the column. I don't have an option to lock the column. Oh, there it is. So I need to lock those. I need to lock all of those. Okay. And then I need to lock the paragraph as well. And then I need to lock this column as well. Okay, so the columns, the column, the paragraph, the other column, and the other paragraph, it's all locked now. Good. So let's save. And then let's create. Now this is where it gets annoying, because if I want to create it site-wide, I have to create it after exporting, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, I suppose. So let me just copy this little snippet out here. I'm going to stick this in my node dump. Functions.php required to enable, to disable, to prevent any user from unlocking blocks. Is that okay? Obviously we can look at it so we can mention here, so we can say certain types of users, and then depending on the user level, you can disable. So I could show it as per user, or I could show it just disabling it for the admin. Maybe I should do it per user. So maybe I should, in here, I should create a new user in the WordPress site and call this user an editor. Editor at blockpress.test. Editor person. Very simple password. Yes, I want this person to be an editor. So that's one editor is one level below administrator. So they can edit the site, but they can't remove blocks. Okay. So let's do that. So for the workshop, we'll show how to enable, disable for an editor. Okay. So going back here, we've added the editor. We're going to log out as the admin. Going to log in as the editor. And then I'm going to check how to define what the editor has over the admin. So let's go to roles and capabilities. And let's say, what can the admin do? I think they've got it as, I think they've actually got an example here. They're being silly. Allow for the editor role and above. Allow for the editor role. See, I don't want it for the editor role. I only want it for the administrator role. So what can only an admin do? Following. They can, okay, so they can update core. They can install, editors can install themes. That means I'm going to need to log in as the admin and then switch to the editor. Oh. I suppose it's not the end of the world. So let's make it install themes. And then we'll do that. Okay. All right. So let's go find that code quickly. All right, let's go back here. So we're going to say can install themes. And user can install themes, allow for administrator only. Okay. Administrator. We don't need to disable it for a specific user. I'm not worried about any of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I wonder what it is by default. What I'm rather going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to go enabled equals that. That'll return true or false. If enabled, then enable it. Settings. Otherwise, it's false. Return it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to stick with. So if the current user can install themes, meaning they're an admin, then it's true. If it's true, enable it. Could just do that. It's the same as that, really. Yeah, I could just do that. It's fine. So that is just fine. Refactoring on the go, folks. So we either true or false, and then we return it. So that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so this we can add to our main theme. So let's go back to our development site here. Okay, so we've locked all of those. We've saved it. That's good. Let's go back to the dashboard. Go back to themes. We're in locked block course theme. So let's export that to locked block course theme. So we'll say client locked block course theme. It's going to overwrite. That's fine. I don't mind that. Place that. Okay. And then I'll write the files. Okay, that's done. All right. And then let's activate it so that it's our current development theme. And then in WordPress, I want to, here it is, let's just check. Okay, so that's locked, that's locked, that's all locked. Good. Locked. Okay. So that's as expected. So then I want this in the locked block course theme functions of PHP. So that it will ship when we ship the theme. Okay. So that's good. Okay. So now I want to activate this in my development environment. Oh, it is already activated, so that's great. Actually, I've just got it over here. Okay, so because I'm an admin, I'll be able to see that it's locked. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to be able to see. So I can make changes, I can move things around. But when I export this, so I'm going to clone this. Actually, let's just override. I don't need to override the changes. That is the theme I'm using. So now that theme I can install in my client site as the admin. So let's log out. And then we'll go to themes and we will just activate this one for now. Delete this one because I don't need this one anymore. And then let's add the new theme. It's that one that we just created. I'm going to install it. That's cool. And we will activate it so that it's the active theme. And if I switch back to my code and I go to that site, blank should have all the locks in place. It should also have, oh, where's my functions of PHP? That not get created. That's interesting. I might want to raise that with the theme folks. Okay, well, that's fine. I have ways around that. But folks coming to my workshop might not, so that's something I need to possibly raise. Locked. See, that's got functions. Locked block course theme. Okay, let me just delete this. I wonder if I clone it. Let's clone it. Let's see if that makes a diff. Hopefully if you're watching the stream, you're not expecting this to be as well prepared as my workshops, because this is research for my workshops. So yeah, don't expect this to be as polished. This is very much me fumbling around. Okay, so let's clone this and let's call it client. Let's call this block press locked theme, because it's going to get installed on block press. And let's copy and paste that. And let's create it. And I just like to have hyphens in the name. I'm just weird that way. The override placed in the same folder as the theme. Yeah, but did I do the override earlier? That might be why. I just want to see what happens when I do the export. Because I'm wanting it to be like as if I'm going to export it from here. I think you're right. I don't think I exported it last time, which makes sense. Okay, so now I've exported it, which is what I want. So now I go back to my client site. Let's actually let's activate this one. So we can delete that one. And now let's install the client theme. Block press lock theme, yes. So that's the one I need to create. That's the one that should have the functions of PHP in it. Let's double check that. It would be down here, block press lock theme, and there's the functions of PHP. Okay, excellent. So that was because I didn't do the export. Okay, cool. So we'll activate this. So this will now be in our client site. So let's just, I'm still the admin. So let's go back to the editor and let's just make sure that we see the locking. And I quite like this list view because it shows me very quickly all the locks are in place. Okay, good. So that's good. So now if I exit out of here and then I log out, And then I log in as editor. And then, oh, the editor can't edit the theme. Shit. Last. The editor can't edit themes, the admin can. Okay, so what we can do is we can make it available to this user. That's fine. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go back to that code. Find it. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. Suppose you kind of want that to happen. I don't know, that seems weird. So if the user is so what I can do is I can say the editor is an admin. Say make that false for the admin. No wonky way around it. But I suppose if the admin's the only person that can edit themes, I mean, I could. The other thing I could do is I could add capabilities to the editor. That's another option. I could mention both as an option. So make sure your user can edit themes before you lock things. Okay, so that's so we need to think about a bit of a use case on this one. I have had a little visitor, so give me 2 seconds. Hey buddy. Hello. Yeah, cool. So we almost had a visitor on the live stream. One of my children came to visit. He didn't know I was on a live stream. Leo's posted an issue. Oh, I hope this is an issue about improvements to block locking. Multi-entity permission management. Yay! Okay, so this is actually, so first of all, this is actually really cool, Leo. Thank you for this link, because then I can include this in my workshop. So this is very cool. So I'm going to yes, you're right, I did like this. I'm going to stick this in my notes. Why did I open up code? I'm just going to add this to my notes, and then I'm going to think about a use case. So you might have a user type that can edit themes, and you want to lock specific blocks. The other option is you want somebody to... Block locking is specifically only useful if you're giving somebody post-edit permission. Block locking in themes, the use case doesn't really make sense. Although there might be a scenario where you want a client to be able to change templates. I suppose that is possible. I need to investigate that a bit more. It's not a common use case, I guess that's the problem. The other option is I can just look at it from the point of view of locking blocks in a poster page. But that doesn't affect theme builders. So need to think about that a little bit. Maybe Twitter will help. Maybe if I post it as a question to my social media folks. WordPress theme developers. Question of the day. Would you ever want to give a user the ability to edit theme file? To edit a block theme template, but have certain blocks blocked in that template. Let's see what responses I get. Research, block themes. Oh, you can't do hyphens. Ugh. Research block themes. I'm going to leave it like that. That's interesting. I feel like the use case for editing, for locking blocks in a template is a weird one. I think it makes way more sense when you're editing a post that contains permission entities like navigation. I feel like the use case for block locking comes in when you are setting up a postal page with block level elements, not when you're designing a theme. And mine is specific to block themes. So it's an interesting use case. Yeah, I'm going to leave it where it is. It shows one example. I still don't know the why, but I'll have to think about that. But if we go back to our editor person, and we're going to make that person an admin now. So let's log out of here. Users, let's edit this person and make them an admin. And then let's log out and log back in as them. And now I've got the ability to add and edit themes. But if I edit this, I shouldn't be able to. Is that the right theme? Yeah. I shouldn't be able to remove those blocks. So let's confirm that. Yeah, I can't remove. Shows that it's locked. I can't change the locking. I can't move things around. So it is theoretically possible. So it is possible for me to set up a user with the capability of editing the theme template, but I only want them to edit certain sections of the template in the theme. Now I wonder how that pertains to posts. I might have to do another test on this tomorrow, where I set up a theme template for like a single page, and then they create a post and see what changes get made there. This sounds like a part 2 to me. It's not enough time for that now. I've only got 10 minutes left of this hour. So I'm not going to have much time to play with that, but it does give me a good insight as to what's going on. Tomorrow, I might do another live stream at this time. I don't know. And I'll have a look at enabling it on post, seeing what happens. But for now, I'm going to just make some notes here. So, the other notes I wanted to make were administrators can edit themes, therefore can unlock blocks. Editors cannot edit themes, therefore pointless to strict blocking. Perhaps some third user type. Maybe I can create one. I could do that, I suppose. And then I just wanted to make sure, so let's say WordPress.test is our development site. Blockpress.test is our client site. Remember to export, not overwrite. Thanks, Leo. Is it export? No, it's clone. Remember to clone, not overwrite. And then I'm just going to make a note about look into block locking that's set up in the theme, but the user is editing a post. So for example, let's say this was the default header for a post, let's say. And then below that, I added the post title, post featured image, and post content. And then made this the single template, for example, and then loaded it on the new site. Then they should be able to edit the title, blah, blah, blah. This should load in the header, and would they be able to unlock that? That's the other thing to figure out, because that makes more sense as a use case. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I will try and do it at about the same time if folks are interested to see that. But I probably should have, I suppose that's the point of these research sessions, is figuring this out. So that's where I'll pick up tomorrow if anybody wants to come along for the ride. Otherwise, I'll be doing it by myself. But I think I've got a good understanding of how the block locking works and what it looks like in the code. And I'm going to read through this as well to understand this. So thanks, Leo, for that. Yeah, I think I'm going to sort of call it a day here. So I hope everybody that did pitch up enjoyed what we did. It was interesting, at least for me. And I guess thanks for watching.